Getting out of the hospital. I'm after getting settled into my apartment. I'm going to be here for a while. It's close to the doctors, and I have one of these things to get around on. And keep the foot elevated.
The Notorious has spoken. Yes, people, it's the Doc. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, aka the Doc in the Arena, the guy that will give you the medical take on sporting topics. Now today, mystery solved. A lot of you are aware that Conor McGregor suffered a devastating defeat to Dustin Poirier over the weekend, and an even more devastating leg break. And to be honest, it looked like a bit of a freak accident. It looked like a bit of a freak incident, the way his leg basically collapsed like a deck of cards beneath him under no apparent pressure, putting an end to that fight. So, you know, we were speculating as to what happened, and you guys might have seen my previous video about the injury. However, Conor's answered the question for us, which is fantastic. He released a video today explaining why he got the injury, but not only that, what treatment he's had and what's happening next for him. So we're going to react to that video right now. As I always say, if you like this type of content, then subscribe and flick the notification bell as well. That way you know when the next videos are coming out. Other than that, let's rock and roll. Okay, I've got a few clips for you that we need to discuss, all right?
You know, I'm going to be like this for a while. It's going to take, it's not going to be a few days or even a few weeks. It's going to be a bit of time.
You can see Conor, he knows. You heard what he said. He said it's not going to be a few days, it's not going to be a few weeks. Reality is setting in. This is going to be a big rehab for him. I'm now thinking up to a year, and you will see why as we continue. Right now, this is the key clip. This is a clip that answers why the leg broke during the fight.
And I'm motivated to go and do this, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to come back. The leg is better than ever. I was injured going into the fight. People are asking me, when was the leg broke?
Injured going into the fight.
At what point did the leg break? Ask Dana White, ask the UFC, ask Dr. Davidson, the head doctor of the UFC. They knew I had a stress fractures in my leg going into that cage. There was debate about pulling the thing out because I was sparring with those shin pads, and I kicked the knee a few times. So I had multiple stress fractures in the shin bone above the ankle. And then I have trouble with the ankle anyway, do you know what I mean, throughout the years of fighting all the time. So, and I also was wrapping my ankle. I was wrapping my ankle every training session. You know, I even done a lot of training sessions where when the ankle was sore, I still wouldn't stop training. I used to just train on my back.
Fascinating clip, Conor. We love you for it, and it explains exactly what happened. He basically went into the fight with a broken leg. Absolute madman to do that. He's now made it clear that he's had multiple stress fractures before the fight. I'll explain what a stress fracture is. Basically, you need to appreciate when you're training in any sort of way or exerting yourself in any form, your tissues, they take damage. So that includes your bones, your muscles, your tendons, whatever. They take little bits of damage, okay? Then what your body does is your body repairs itself, but not only repairs itself, it tends to repair itself stronger than it was before. So that's why when people train in the gym, over time they get bigger and the muscles get stronger, because as you're training, you're damaging the muscles, but then giving your body enough time to recover and get stronger. So it's the same with bone, okay? Now, if you are constantly applying load and damaging that bone, which Conor is during an intense training camp, plus he's always, as he said, he's kicking the bags, he's kicking and sparring with people, so constantly bang, 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 his lower leg, putting loads of load through it. You need time for your bone in your leg to recover, okay? So get that micro damage and then recover. If you don't do that, guess what happens? Your micro damage builds up and up and up and up, and then one day your bone can't take it and forms a little crack in it, and that's when you get a stress fracture. People who are runners, you may have had those type of injuries before. So Conor's clearly overtrained or not trained appropriately, and he suffered little stress fractures within his leg. These little stress fractures then, in intense activity, can possibly become big fractures, and that's exactly what happened. I wonder if his body couldn't take that level of training because he's not as active a fighter as he was a few years ago. That's just something I sort of thought in my mind. I'm interested in your opinion as well. But basically, he went into the fight with broken bones in his lower leg, and he shouldn't have done it. Normally, if someone's got a stress fracture, we advise rest for 6 to 12 weeks, maybe 4 to 12 weeks, depending on severity. Either way, rest. We do not advise going into an octagon with a trained killer. We absolutely do not advise that. So please do not try this at home. Now listen to the treatment he had.
I needed to get treatment on the shin bone, and I would have never committed to going under the knife unless something like this has happened. So something like this has happened, I'm at going in, I'm at getting exactly what I needed, and what I needed was a titanium shin bone. So now I've got a titanium rod going down the knee, from the knee to the ankle, and the doctor said it's unbreakable.
So I was hoping he didn't have this op, but I suppose it was always going to happen. He's had a titanium rod put into his tibia, his lower leg bone. So an intramedullary nail fixation, if you want the technical terms. It's exactly the type of same surgery Anderson Silva had after his leg break, and Chris Weidman, which I did the video on before. Essentially what they do is they put, as he said, an unbreakable titanium rod down the middle of the bone to keep it strong and to keep it straight, and then the bone heals around the rod. So that's going to put him out for a year, realistically. As I said, exactly the same surgery as Chris Weidman, exactly the same surgery as Anderson Silva, same one as Tiger Woods, done videos on all of them before, long rehab, but that leg's going to come back strong. That leg's going to come back strong. Conor seems in good spirits. He seems in, I don't know if it's just his showmanship, but he seems in great spirits. Listen to this. This is what happens next for him, and this is what excites me.
So I've got all the tools to do this, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm excited about it, and you know what a story it's gonna be. So let's go. Let's go, team. Da 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 da. It's the
So all the stuff all the stuff I was saying about him fighting Jake Paul, his demise has been greatly exaggerated by all accounts. He's a very proud guy. He seems motivated. He seems ready to come back, and he's going to want to go straight back against Poirier. And I think he thinks now this is a legacy moment for him. I think he's excited to, you know, come back from adversity and add to his legacy. And it would be a great story if he came back and become double champ again or something. Unbelievable. As I said, I've left the link to the full video in our video description, so you can enjoy that. But that's the main things. Really high spirits, really motivated, and that's exciting to all fight fans. So let's enjoy.